Hello, hello, this is Musa, and as I promised, I'm here with an Elfball League, and I hate my life. I hate my life. I've been trying to record this league for so long, but this deck doesn't want to perform as well as the other ones, so here you go. You're going to see a bad league. I'm showing you Elfball. I'm showing you why I don't play Elfball, maybe. I'm also going to show you my mistakes, but let's go and let's just hate my life together. So round number 1, none of your business is our opponent, and trust me, this is our business, and even if I didn't want it to be. And look how nicely this deck mulligans. Do we go down to 3 cards? Yes, we did. And did I already regret my life decision? Yes, I did. So let's see how we're going to get butchered game 1. I see an island, it's okay. First spell gets countered, it's a spell snare. Obviously I had to go for the visionary there because I need to create some card advantage. And we see a frog. Our life isn't good. They cast a Riddler and they do have lots of value there because as we know, Psychic Frog together with a Riddler is a very, very nice combo. So right now we have 2 useless mana dorks doing nothing and no option of doing something of importance in the future. Oh, look, another heritage. What does it do? Nothing. Let's go to game number 2. Do you even need a sideboard guide for this? I wouldn't want you to play it as it is. Still, I'm going to put it here and let's go on from there. This hand looks decent because we obviously have the Symbiote, we have the Prince of Titania, and we have the Celestial Reunion, which can get whatever piece we're missing in order to go off. The opponent is keeping 2 mana up. Obviously, again, they're trying to go for a spell snare, so I'm trying to avoid it by going for a Celestial Reunion for 2, in order to get my Visionary. But this didn't work, so this time I'm gonna slam my little chunky boy, the Champions of the Perfect, hoping to create some card advantage in the future and actually get out of here and get the ball rolling. You understand what I mean? I still don't know what the opponent was playing. They're playing some Dimir deck, but it's not the typical Dimir deck we all know. So let's go Visionary. We have the Symbiote in hand and we're going to be very fine. What we are? No, we're not going to be very fine. Because this is the reason Elfball is not playable. You see an Orcish Bowmasters. This is your death. And Champions of the Perfect all of a sudden becomes the tomb over your grave. Because you can't do anything. I didn't bring in my dismembers. So I have no option of actually killing this little creature. And because the effect of Champions of the Perfect isn't a May ability to draw the card, you have to draw the card. We are done. Let's go to the next one. What do we have this time? This hand is mediocre. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't go off. So, but this is a perfect hand. We have the Visionary. We have the 3 mana dorks, let's say, together with the Heritage, and we can go off. We see an Ajani, and believe it or not, Energy is a good matchup for Elfball because you're creating such a big board state that I cannot do anything with. That was very nice, wasn't it? And now we can go off, or actually try to go off. I think I make some mistakes here because I went for the Visionary. Maybe I should have played things around a little bit. Maybe I should have played first the Heritage, then the rest. But oh well. We keep on doing what we want to do. The deck performs a little bit like a Legacy Elves, meaning you are bouncing and replaying Visionaries. You have Curion Ranger to tap and tap, Nettle Sentinels together with a combo of Heritage Druid, and you can try to go off. But here I remembered that I didn't have enough mana in order to cast my Champions of the Perfect, and obviously I did something wrong. But as you can see, with such a board state, they're not very happy to attack, are they? Because I can block pretty many things. And together with the Whitewood Symbiote, I can bounce back to hand whatever they try to aim with this Goblin Bombardment. They're trying to aim this Heritage? Sure, I'm bouncing back to hand. And I'm protecting it. Do I lose my Visionary? Yes, I do, but I don't really mind because I do have a Celestial Reunion in hand. At this time, let's do it right. We're going to cast our Champions of the Perfect, and we're going to be in a better state. We're tapping for 3 mana. There we go. We do need a Nettle Sentinel in order to go off with this version of the deck. But I prefer to create a card advantage and then go off next turn. Even an Ajani together with a Goblin Bombardment isn't lethal for us because I can untap my chunky boy in the name of Champions of the Perfect, block that little bugger here, I was about to say another word, that's causing us problems with all these tokens, and then go on from there. The opponent is trying to kill the champions. No, he's actually going for the Whitewood Symbiote here. Yeah, I don't remember anymore. I really wanted to get out of my memory what happened last night. And here we ended up with no board. And here I conceded. Could I have made some better decisions in this game? You tell me. Let's go to the next one. Do I miss my side cleanser? Yes, I do. But it's okay. They've just brought it. I don't want to sideboard a lot with this deck because it's not a toolbox deck. It's a very, very synergetic deck that relies heavily on some specific cards. So you cannot sideboard more like, let's say, 4, maximum 5 cards that are really, really necessary to go off. So I just brought in these members and some other cards. Let's go on. I'm missing the gameplay here. The opponent obviously has to remove something. They're going to remove the Heritage Druid. That Haragavan on its own is not going to do much. We are staying here to defend against the very angry Ragavan, the monkey that's going to attack. I'm not going to block here. What are they taking? A Mystic, whatever. You can use the Mana Dog for whatever you want. And I don't really care. Wrath of the Skies, they clean the board, and I really feel that this was a very bad play from the opponent. Well, let's go on from there. So, 3 mana, Celestial Reunion. I'm going to reveal the 2 cards from my hand in order to put a Celestial Reunion on the battlefield. I will draw more cards. It's really nice to draw cards. That's what I'm going to tell about this deck. This is the only thing that I've been missing from Elfball and from all the versions of the deck. And this feels very nice. Let's go. We have double Dismember, which is good. If you're in my shoes here, do not let that Goblin Bombardment land before you dismember that Ajani. I mistimed it. And here we go once again. We're cleaning the board. You have nothing, I have nothing. Let's go from there. The only problem is that I'm actually down to 7 and they're on 13. This isn't a great deal, is it? But the deck keeps on giving, so I'm actually going to play my Champions of the Perfect because it's not very easy for them to kill a little chunky boy. It's a 6/6 that can attack. Okay, they have no energy counters because they decided to wrath me for no good reason. So we're going from there. So here I'm going to get a Symbiote and I'm going to try to draw some more cards. That's the second Champions. And this is the only way to play the deck. Champions is very good. If you try to do it any other way, you're doing it wrong. Sorry to tell you. So here, I'm going to attack. They have to block with the Ocelot Pride. I don't care if you gain life. I'm going down to 4. You have nothing. I have everything. There, and this is when it goes off. And this is when the crack comes in. And you love your life because this is what we came for. I wish you could do it more consistently, this little thing. The opponent here realized that the death was upon them and they gave up to go to game number 3. Game number 3 of my torture league, so let's go on. This is a decent hand. It is not perfect, but most hands with Elfball look inconsistent. Look, what the heck did I keep? But eventually you draw the 1 card that you were missing and you have all the pieces that you need to go off. With Galvanic Discharge, the opponent is relying heavily on Ragavan and I would do the same if I was playing against a deck like that. And we're going on from there. Also, Pride together with Ragavan. Isn't life good? And then a Goblin Bombardment. Life is awesome. I've had enough, but at least I have a Boseiju. Here I made a mistake. I should have actually gone for the Boseiju to kill the Goblin Bombardment and then next turn to play things. But I decided to delay it for 1 turn. Goblin Bombardment, this. Yeah, I mistimed it. Would it have changed the result? I highly believe not. By any case, if you hear in the background something yelling, that's my little Llanowar elf, and it's the main reason I cannot upload as consistent during summer, because school's out for summer, as Alice Cooper said, and somebody has to babysit. Let's go on. The opponent drew the Seasoned Pyromancer, creating a huge board. I'm going to block the Ajani. They're going to Galvanic Discharge their token, the cat, and Ajani is going to finish the job that they couldn't do otherwise, or I couldn't do myself. This wasn't as bad as I thought. I've told you, energy is not such a bad of a matchup, but still, I didn't beat. I have made some mistakes in this one. I've made some mistakes in this one. For example, I think I timed it wrong, the Boseiju in the third game. I got away with murder, in the second one with the dismembers, and in the first one, I probably should have played the heritage before the little sentinel in order to tap for more mana and maybe be able to cast the Champions of the Perfect like that. That's it. Let's go to the next one. Next one. Are we going to win anything? This is not perfect, not bad, but I'm going to keep it because it has the Celestial Reunion. So if I actually draw something good, we're going on from there. Burn. Hi, person from the past. I'm also playing a deck from the past. So here we are. I have double Lentil Sentinel together with Heritage Druid, so I'm very, very happy. I see an eidolon of the Great Revel. I even forgot what the name of this eidolon is. It's such a long time that I played like that. Here, there were choices. Choices have been made. I made the choice of taking 4 damage in order to assemble my combo, create some defense, and then keep up Boseiju to kill the opponent like that. I don't know if this choice was right or wrong. What do we have on top of the deck? Curion Ranger. I want the Curion Ranger. I should have blocked something. Because right now I went back to 6, it was very risky what I did. The last 2 cards in his hand had to be burn spells, and they were. But I was playing very greedy. The reason I played like that is I wanted to go for the kill next turn. And in order to go for the kill next turn, the best way is to have double Nettle Sentinel together with Heritage Druid. If I killed one of my one of the Goblin-Guides, and I went down to, in this case, 2, with all the burn spells they have, first of all, this Lightning Bolt would have gone for the Heritage Druid, which means that my board would be gone and I wouldn't be able to do much. My Celestial Reunion would have to go to tutor for the Heritage Druid, and I wouldn't be able to go off. It was a risk I took. Would you have done the same in my case? Would you have blocked? Would you just play defense, or do you just play for the win? I'm used to play for the win. I'm not that used to play for the defense, Let's go to the next one. So this is the next round. I don't bring in much. I don't even bring in Forces of Vigor because I don't want to. I'm hardly bringing anything in for this matchup. If they want to kill my creatures, so be it. Otherwise, I will just swarm the board with elves and let them fry them. Okay, you're frying things. I can do better things. And if my little big boy lands, you're doomed. Eidolon, sure. Boros Charm, okay, that's for you. Second Eidolon. There's a thing. There's a fine line between playing Eidolon against decks that play 1 and 2 mana cost creatures. And there's a fine line where you should know never to cross it and the opponent made a mistake. They don't have such a high life total. Right now they're on 10. And right now we are both equal. Whenever they cast a spell, they take 6 damage. Whenever I cast a spell, if it's over 4 mana value, I don't care. And that's what I'm going to do. I have tons of tutors in the deck. I have mana, and I can do whatever I want. And I have my champions, which if I want, I can also attack. Or I can just sit here. You look, second champion. Sure, how are you going to beat me? There's no freaking card in your whole deck that costs more than 3. I can sit here for the rest of mankind and you'll still lose. Eventually you have to play cards. Or eventually I will kill you with my champions. Even here, they didn't decide to kill an Eidolon or all of them in order to get out of their position. And here they're trying to attack in order to get me low in the life total, because the ability of the Eidolon in order to deal the 2 damage to you, the player that cast a spell, goes on the stack. So they could double bolt me, for example, let's say, and go on from there. But it's impossible because I didn't let my life total go very low. And that's it. We're going to the game number 3. Burn versus Elves. Welcome to 2015. Another Goblin Guide. It's show me the Nettle Sentinel. I'm happy to see that card. Obviously, I'm going to fetch for the basic because I don't bring black cards in this matchup. The only reason I splashed black is because the meta right now is full of combo decks like Cosmogoyf that I want to fight. And because Elfball doesn't easily run white and the white cards that I want unless I dilute the deck very much. In my eyes, the only way of dealing with things is actually checking the opponent's hand and going on from there. Oops, sorry. So now we're gonna do what we came for. I should actually get some really nice music while I do these things, right? The Benny Hill music, if you're a bit old, you'll know it. So we have assembled the combo Double Nettle Sentinel with Heritage Druid, Wirewood Symbiote, and Elvish Visionary. So in order to go into some deck technique instead of only sarcasm, the combo is actually Wirewood Symbiote together with Visionary. You're trying to draw as many cards of your deck as possible in order to go and get a Craterhoof Behemoth, which has been a very old staple of the deck, and a way to beat them. Or actually go and get Finale of Devastation, a secondary finisher that I've put in the deck in case my Behemoth gets removed. This way I can bring it back, or even if the Finale is over 10, you have a haste in all your creatures and +10/+10. Eventually, as you can see here, I have a huge board. I would be able to create infinitely large board, not infinitely as much as my deck is, and finish them either with Finale or with a Behemoth. And that's it. Finally, we got the win, and I didn't want to throw myself off the balcony. Let's go to the next one. And what do we have here? We're playing first. That hand was bad. This hand is even mediocre, but at least I have Double Nettle Sentinel. I had the option of going for a Green Sun Zenith turn 1 in order to get a Dryad Arbor. I chose not to. Maybe I should have, but I'm not very fond of that being the play turn 1. Well, it doesn't matter right now because as you can see, the opponent is removing everything I put on the board. Even my soul, if I put it on the board, he could actually remove it. So here's my Visionary. I'm going to cast it in order to draw something to get out of this. And the opponent is going to drown the Locket. And what is it? It's Mill. You know, the deck that I'm very good with? Devoted Elves against? Because I have Cauldrons and it is Endurance and everything. It's actually the Cauldron and the Endurance. Here we don't have it. I wish I would have something like that right now, but it's okay. We do have Endurance in the sideboard. I mean, the opponent has drawn every frigging removal they found. But it's okay. We will go on from there. For 2 again. Another Visionary. We need to draw cards. Another bad thing is that you don't really want to draw cards when you're playing against the deck that mills you and empties your library, do you? Especially when you don't have a Nature's Rhythm, for example, in the graveyard to bring things back. Still though, we're going on from there. We're going to slam that Champions of the Perfect on the board. Or at least try to slam it in order to get a beater down and finish them. Because the 1/1s do nothing at all to the Ring Crab and the other crab. Because they have a big ass. There we go. Do I want to play cards? I don't really want to. I'm down to 31 cards left in my library. Still, I'm going to do it because I need to have a mechanism in order to go off. Because this 6/6 will take ages in order to go and kill anything. Here we go again. The good thing about Champions of the Perfect is that it bounces back to hand, whatever card you put underneath with Behold. But we still have 1/1s that do nothing. And the Surgical Out Champions, the opponent knew what they were doing. And they knew the card they needed to remove, and that's what they did. So right now we have to find another way to find Behemoth, if there is any Behemoth left in our deck. Behemoth is here, Finale is here, I have nothing to beat them with. There's no point in continuing playing. I keep on slamming cards for the sake of it. Maybe I can create a huge board and go on from there, which is pretty much impossible. They mill even more cards. I'm down to 7 cards in the library. Nothing can save me. And we're going to the next one. So I brought everything that had... almost everything that I have against them. Post sideboarding. For example, this is a matchup that I bring Thoughts is in. And things are going to be interesting. Here I had a choice. I wish I could rewind back. We had a discussion with my hubby. He said that I should have taken Toxic Deluge. I went for the Fatal Push. The opponent had 0 black cards left in the hand. I went for the fatal push, so there was Toxic Deluge, Tasha's hideout, the 2 lands, Extirpate, and Cryptic Incursion. Should I have gone for the Deluge? Well, if you think of it after the game, yes, obviously I should have gone for the Deluge. I thought that before the Deluge would land, I would actually have something significant, or I would be able to go off. Oh well. Choices. Three. But you can see how the deck goes off right like that here. And this is we're going to cast our Champions of the Perfect. I hate to say it. I'm going to say it here. He was right. I should have gone for the Deluge. I should have got the Deluge because it's going to empty my whole board. So this loss is on me. I don't know if he's going to watch the video. I'm going to realize if he watched the video, if he actually comments on what I just said. I was being greedy here, to be honest. I wanted to go off. I thought that I would be able to go off like that. And we keep on tapping, drawing cards. I will keep on saying drawing cards is amazing. This is what the deck does very, very well. I even have Triple Nettle Sentinel. There you go. But eventually I will brick and I will hit the land. And that's when my, when all this will end. Because I haven't drawn a second Wirewood Symbiote in order to continue. There you go, the second land. And now we're praying that the opponent won't draw their fetch land or a black source in order to kill me. And the opponent drew the black source, and you know what's happening. You have the Toxic Deluge here. That's gonna do a very nice thing. Boom, out. I'm just bouncing back a Nettle Sentinel because it's gonna beat all the way down to 9. And I can go on from there. Another good, and as we said, then having a Champions of the Perfect back in hand, which is not very useful. And I went for a Dryad Arbor. You know what? Now, right now I have a clock. Don't you see the clock? I have a Dryad Arbor attacking together with a Wirewood Symbiote and a Nettle Sentinel. I'm going to kill them in 3 turns. But you do remember that they also have a Crypt Incursion here. Yeah, that didn't go very well. They actually extirpate my endurances from my graveyard. Here, the endurances here in the top. So this party is almost over, as is my torture. To be honest, I did that. I deserve that. I treated the deck with disrespect in this game. I should have gone for the Toxic Deluge. Nothing. The opponent doesn't do anything. They're pretty patient. I have a dismember for any cards they don't have on the board. I'm down to 28 cards in the library. Not very promising, is it? Do I even have any more winning conditions as it is? Behemoth is gone. Well, I do have a finale, but I don't know if it's going to cut it. They are down to 5. And my creature is back in my hand. They are playing Mill as if it's a Dimir control deck. I don't know how optimal that is against any deck that's doing well in the format. But here we go. And now they're going to Cryptic Incursion. They're going back to 31 life, and here we go up the hill again, trying to kill them with 1/1s. And Fractured Sanity seals again the deal, because I'm going down to 12 cards. The second one is my death. Yes, I made mistakes. But we learn from my mistakes, don't we? No, we don't. Let's go to the next one. And what do we have here for the last round? We have a good hand. We have Priest of Titan together with Kieran Ranger. These are 2 cards that I actually know and I remember how to play. Steam Vents together. Good. Finally something nice. We have Affinity. I'm playing a better Affinity deck. I'm playing Green Affinity. Did you actually see the new card, the spoil? The new Affinity for Affinity for Elves cards? Since we are watching here, you know what's going to happen. I'm here. We're watching together. It's actually pretty cute. I think it's only gonna be played in Elfball together, for example, with Wirewood Symbiote. It's gonna be a very nice card advantage. On the other hand, I don't believe in the Devoted Elves list. It will find its place because I'm playing too many non-elves. Plus, I don't need that. I have so many better cards to play in order to put this in. It's going to be cute. We're going to test it. We're going to test it with Elfball again. Yes, I even said that. And we will see how it goes. And here we go. We're going to do what we like to do. Whitewood Symbiote together with Visionary, untap with Vicurian Ranger, Priest of Titania again. Untap Priest of Titania twice. We're going down to Champions of the Perfect. I don't need a second Priest of Titania. That's the card I'm going to put underneath the champion. And we continue with the deck from there. Keep on casting cards, bouncing things back to hand. 8 mana. Here we go. Here we go for another champion. It's a pretty big clock. I don't think that their little Boros Steel-Cutter will be able to deal with double champion, especially when it goes off so well and you keep on drawing the rest of the deck. Why do you go away your opponent? For once in my life, I got the chance of doing what I wanted. Sit there and die with grace. They're frustrating me. Let's go to sideboarding. Sideboarding, you should know by now how we sideboard against Affinity. We have the Vigors. We do have Oof. We don't need much. We do what they do, but we do it better. And this version is a weird Affinity deck with Boros Steel-Cutter. It's like a Wizards together with Emery. I wouldn't be surprised if they also play Tamiyo. And here I'm going to do the dream of every elf player. Ooh, they love that. Turn 1 Dryad Arbor, and then the opponent's going to play a red removal, and then we're going to be crying for the misused Green Sun Zenith. That's the reason I'm not playing Dryad Arbors. They're too fragile for my liking in these versions of the deck. That Whitewood Symbiote was a great draw. That's what we're going to play. We have the half of the engine of the deck, which is the Visionary together with the Whitewood Symbiote. Double Champions of the Perfect in hand. The opponent is going for the Whitewood Symbiote here. Makes sense, even though I had nothing going on board. There we go. And here, once again, we're going to do what we should do always. We're going to slam our Champions of the Perfect, which is actually the card that makes the deck decent. It's a great card if you have elves. If you don't have elves, it's a horrible card. It's also horrible, as we've seen, if you are playing against the Bowmasters. Then just quit the table, leave. Go have a coffee, go have a drink. It's better than actually watching that parody. Here, the opponent is going to throw away 2 spells in order to remove 1 Champions of the Perfect. And I couldn't be more happy than that. And then they gave up. They realized they gave away too many resources and they had nothing else to do. And that's it for the league. So I hope I wasn't too annoying, but I was very annoyed with myself playing the deck. I know I made some mistakes, but I don't think many things would change regarding the results. We were also lucky to end on this side of the meta. Because imagine if we have ended on the other side of the meta, which is the turn 2 combos, or any other degenerate decks that I usually play against, we wouldn't be able to do much. It's a very fun deck to play, though. I would actually suggest taking it to your local game store if you like to draw cards. Be prepared, though, to lose a little bit more than usual. But for many players, for many elf players, this is the life of an elf player. This is something I am not able to come to terms with, and this is why I'm always trying to find better versions of the deck. Here I took my little break for my Devoted Elves. I brought some Elfball lists. I threw away a lot of points in order to do that. I tried to get a better result. Trust me, guys. I really tried to get a better result, but I couldn't. So I'm going to stick to Devoted Elves, which is doing very, very, very well. I'm grinding very well online lately. And then I'm going to come back with other ideas. I would like to go for the Ashaya idea. I've tested some more cards that you guys have suggested. They haven't gone as well as I wanted to, so I'm not even going to show you that, unless I want another League of Frustration to share with you. And that's it for the league, and I hope you'll see you on the next one. And once again, sorry for the late post. I'm getting a suntan here. Bye-bye.